Good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you're watching this transmission. Is I, Mike Martins, back in the driver's seat again after running a pile of errands in the last 24 hours. I don't know how I'm still awake, but I'm here, and I'm here to serve you guys. Anyways, guys, I got a very hot. I'm going to leave it in the first comment below in this video. They're going to fix the housing market. Hurry up and watch this before somebody mirrors the video and claims it for themselves. Please watch it. You heard it here first on the Mike Martins channel. Covering the housing crisis for so many years now, and they keep erasing my history like I don't even exist. But you guys know it, we know it, everybody knows it. Mike Martin's here for you guys. Anyways, what's happening, people? Okay, now, I'm going to read the headline. Two headlines. Greater Vancouver real estate sees biggest drop and fewest sales since 2009. Toronto real estate has the worst February sales since 2009. Are we going to see 2007, 2008 real estate sales worst? Like, are we going to go back to 2007, 6, 7, 8 of the major crash? Are we going to go back to that time by Q3 or 4 of 2019? That is the question I want to ask you guys. But anyways, Greater Vancouver real estate sees biggest drop and fewest sales since 2009. I used to live right here. I used to live, you see this building right here? Right there. You can't really see it, but that's the mall I was in downtown Vancouver. Greater Vancouver real estate has been getting major price cuts this year. Real Estate Board of Vancouver. Numbers show that prices made a large drop in February. The price declines came as sales dropped to recession level lows, and inventory hit a multi-year high for the month. So there's a lot of glut on the market, lots of overstock, and I've been fighting against the supply and demand for many years on this channel. The whole supply and demand thing, you know, I've been fighting it tooth and nail. It's not a supply and demand. It never was a supply and demand when you have 100,000 empty investor homes. 30 years ago, you never had this problem. 30 years ago, 20 years ago, even 15 years ago, somebody would buy a little two-bedroom condo in Arizona, and they'd go down in the wintertime in Canada. So it's winter in Canada, they fly down to Arizona or Nevada or California or Florida. Now it's becoming investor properties where they're taking over the city, and they're not taking, and they've never taken in the 100,000 empty units across the greater Vancouver, the greater Vancouver, and the GTA, and the greater Toronto area. So they're not taking into effect, even Sydney, Melbourne, Auckland, all these places, they're not taking into Paris, all of them, San Francisco, they're not taking into effect, hey, wait a minute, we have 100,000 empty homes, multiply that by 3 people per home, man, that's 300,000 people are displaced. So that's what starts happening, right? And it turns these cities into empty shells. Greater Vancouver real estate prices are down over 6%. Greater Vancouver real estate prices continue to drop in the last month. REBGV reported the benchmark, aka typical home costs, 1.016 in February. Wow, $1 million is still over $1 million for a typical home, down 6.1% from the same month last year. Are we going to hit 2006, 7, 8 severe recession numbers in Q3 or Q4? We're going to see. In the city, the trend was even worse. Vancouver East saw a price of typical home fall to 1.031, down 6.7%. Vancouver West fell 1.2, West Van, to 8.3% from last year. Prices in the city are leading the region lower. There it is right there, guys. So it's been trending. We've been following this. There it is, January 2019. The rate of price growth of lack of is reaching multi-year lows. REBGV's decline of 6.1% of the largest decreases since 2009. The typical home across Greater Vancouver is down 7.12% from its peak to about $78,000 lower, which is a decent chunk of change to save in less than a year. So there it is, guys. Let's go to supply versus demand. That's what I wanted to bring up. There it is, guys. Greater Vancouver composite sales versus listings. Hey, let's just throw a bunch of more inventory on the market. Hey, man, this stuff ain't selling. It keeps going down. It keeps going down. Well, that's the one I wanted to show you guys right here. We follow this every week on Trends in the Housing Market every Wednesday night. Follow every English-speaking country if you're bored. If you live in Australia, you live in New Zealand, we do cover you guys. And, oh, I always cover the UK. Oh, the UK. Oh, poor thing. Ireland. Oh, I feel so bad for Ireland. All these people couch surfing and people can't even paying $400 a week to couch surf. Oh, yeah. If you want to come on my show, add me to Skype, Mike Martins 1980 for trends in the housing market. We'll have open lines this Wednesday. Okay, Toronto real estate sales hit the worst February sales since 2009. Toronto real estate sales were like recession, like in numbers, but prices climb higher. Toronto Real Estate Board TREB numbers show last month's sales were the fewest for February in a decade. The decline in sales were accompanied with a mix of change in inventory and the rise of prices. Toronto real estate prices rise over 2%. The price of typical home in Toronto moved higher last month, TREB reported, on a benchmark of $767. This is the uptick in spring that everyone's talking about. Is it going to be short-lived? That's the question. In February, it's the 767 in February, up 2.35% from last year. The City of Toronto benchmark reached 852,000, up 5.5% from last year. Not huge gains, but the numbers are moving higher on the benchmark. But, okay. But who could afford it? With the stress test, I think they're going to eliminate the stress test and bring it down to 1% or 0.5%. Guys, don't forget to watch this. They're going to fix the housing market this spring. Please watch it before someone mirrors it and claims it as their own. The growth of real estate annual price gains continued to decelerate. The 2.35% observes across TREB is smaller than 2.7% seen the month before. The City of Toronto also observed a similar drop in growth. Prices across the Greater Toronto are still 5.95% below the benchmark. Okay, there you go. So it's still 5.95% from the benchmark reached in May 2017. Yes, that was almost 2 years ago. Woo! Yeah. The median sale price of Toronto real estate, much smaller gains. TREB had a median sale price of $674,000 in February, up 2.88% from last year. The City of Toronto made larger gain of $677,000, up 4.14% from the year before. Medians, and not just for size, quality, or season, the numbers are much more volatile, but more popular with international buyers. Bring in more! So we're going to have to bring this every time I hear international buyers. This needs to come up. Canada wants more Chinese. I'm going to keep bringing this up till they take down the article. Ooh. Okay, here we go. So, this is what they're filling our void with. Canada wants more Chinese workers and students. They're pushing it to 500,000 a year. They're pushing it to 650. Right here. McCollum said visas are increasing from China to 500,000 per year, but opening more visa offices could help Canada compete for Chinese workers, students. It's the biggest market in the world. They spend a lot of money. So, it's a tough market to compete with, to spend that much money per day. But you know what? That's why all the Europeans are looking at the back door and ready to head back to Europe and make Europe great again. So that's what's happened. Let's go to supply versus demand. There it is. There it is. So the numbers were, see, they should invert they should invert, right? If it becomes a supply versus demand issue, which you see here, inverted a few times, and that's when everything went nuts right here. So there was enough supply to feed the demand. There was, but I mean, everyone threw everything on right here. But right here, there wasn't a supply to feed the demand right here. That's when things started to go nuts. People that sold right here, and if you're in Toronto and you sold in April 2017 or May 2017, you're sitting cherry right now. Let me know, guys. I'd like to know. Could we see 2006, 2007 numbers by the end of this year on sales? Who cares about price? No one's buying. It just creates glut. People are delusional. And if Canada keeps bringing in and fueling in more Chinese buyers to buy, we're in trouble for Canadians. But we'll see what happens with the infrastructure when no one maintains it later on. Let me know what you guys think. Comment below. Don't forget to watch the videos at the end of this video. And don't forget to look at the link in the first comment below. I need you to watch that video and share it. Okay, guys? Thanks for watching.